In a quiet town nestled in the valley of towering mountains, there lived a young man named Elias. He was once full of dreams, but life had worn him down. Every venture he tried ended in failure, and every step forward seemed to be met with 2 steps back. He felt like a small boat, adrift in a stormy sea, with no compass to guide him. One day, while wandering aimlessly through the forest, Elias stumbled upon an old woodcutter. The man, frail but steady, was chopping a massive tree. The tree's trunk was so thick that it seemed impossible for the old man to bring it down. Elias, curious yet skeptical, approached him and said, "Why do you bother? You'll never be able to cut down this tree. Look at its size compared to your strength." The woodcutter paused, wiped the sweat from his brow, and smiled. "Young man," he said, "let me tell you a story." Elias sat down on a nearby rock, intrigued. "A long time ago," the woodcutter began, "there was a river that dreamed of reaching the ocean. It began its journey as a small stream, winding through rocks and crevices. But every time it gathered strength, a boulder would block its path. The river would crash against the rock, seemingly defeated, and trickle back into the ground. It felt hopeless, much like you do now. But the river didn't stop. It kept flowing, drop by drop, day after day. Over time, the constant trickle carved a path through the rock. It created a passage, a way forward. What seemed impossible became a reality, not because the river was strong or mighty, but because it was relentless. It embraced its journey, one drop at a time, never losing sight of its goal." The woodcutter then pointed to the half-chopped tree and said, "You see this tree? I know it's daunting, but with every swing of my axe, I make progress. Each swing weakens it, even if I don't see the change right away. Persistence, young man, is the key. It's not about overpowering the obstacle. It's about refusing to give up." Elias sat in silence, absorbing the old man's words. He realized that his own failures weren't the end. They were just boulders in his path. Like the river, he needed to keep flowing. Like the woodcutter, he needed to keep swinging. That day marked the beginning of a new chapter for Elias. He returned to the village with a renewed sense of purpose. Instead of focusing on his failures, he started taking small, consistent steps forward. He embraced the process, no matter how slow it seemed, knowing that even the tiniest actions could lead to monumental change. Hopelessness often stems from focusing too much on the size of the challenge rather than the small actions we can take to overcome it. Life will place boulders in your path, but persistence and patience can carve through even the hardest stone. For those who feel hopeless, remember, the journey isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Keep flowing, keep swinging, and eventually, you'll reach your ocean.